Attack on Titan is coming to a close, and having read the manga, I know that a lot of people are upset with the ending, which I'm not going to spoil because there's still people watching the anime. I will talk about my feelings on the ending after the anime is gone. I don't even know if the anime is going to do the same ending as the manga, especially considering that the manga artist himself added additional pages to the ending just because the people were upset. And it shows that at least the author wanted to please people. But let's talk a little bit about the anime and its introduction, because even though you don't like the ending, the story itself is so great, it's so amazing, and honestly, it actually speaks to today's politics. It's all about identity politics, and it talks about how if you push a group of people too hard, if you put them with their back against the corner, and you constantly shame them for the sins of their past, and you make them so that they have nothing to lose, eventually they rise up. And it shows like this circle of oppression, and how people manipulate history in order to oppress other people, and it's a vicious cycle. And it also wants to look at whether or not it is justified what Eren did. So Eren, I think, kills around 80% of the human population. Plot twist, spoilers. But what's interesting is that if he didn't do that, then his people would have gotten killed. So it's kind of like self-defense, but when he defends himself, obviously the damage is a lot worse. So it's a very moral gray area. That there's a lot of people that call Eren to be one of the worst villains in anime history, because again, like, he kills 80% of the human population and the plant life and the animals. In fact, scientists say that the biome, the Earth in Attack on Titan universe, wouldn't have survived the rumbling. Which, by the way, spoilers, plot twist. It's actually here in the trailer. It says rumbling, rumbling. It's coming, rumbling. So really interesting intro where they're actually talking about one of the major spoilers. So yeah, the rumbling is coming, and we get to see the destruction and the devastation of all these titans just walking around the world, and they're unstoppable. There's nothing you can do in order to escape them. And it also shows a couple of images, not only from the future, from the episodes that are upcoming, but it also goes a little bit into the past and shows everything how it got here. So it's the genetics that tie Eren Yeager to his brother, and it's really cool because the whole thing about this is to do with genetics, right? Is the Eldian versus the Marleyans, and eventually, because the Marleyans use the Eldians to win so many battles, the entire world is upset at the Eldians. It's very tenuous. Like, the ideology doesn't really make sense. Like, the world should hate the Marleyans for using the Eldians, but no, like, the world fears the Eldians more than the Marleyans. And there is actually a couple of pages in the manga where it shows that eventually, once the world manages to overcome Titans with heavier machinery and better technology, they will wipe out the Eldians. I mean, it kind of makes sense in that universe, because you have people that are capable of transforming into a Titan. So they're kind of like a walking time bomb. Like, imagine if you live in a building with a person that, at any time can just, boom, transform into a Titan. And it not only affects the people in that building, but it would affect the entire city. So, yeah, I mean, it's not really phobia or prejudice, although you might say, well, yeah, but they need an injection in their back. It's like, yeah, but what if you have like a terrorist and someone that just does that to make a political point, right? So most people definitely fear the Eldians in this universe, not just because of an irrational fear or their previous empire, but also their ability to transform into Titans. So then you get to see the ocean, which symbolizes New Horizon, like it symbolizes Eldian culture being exposed to the world and realizes just how different things are. And then you also see a picture of Eren walking here as he's thinking about his life. He's thinking about where he was and where he is now and what he has to do. And then you also see the pigeons. Now, in Attack on Titan, birds symbolize freedom and liberty. And arguably, Eren's entire philosophy is about freedom and liberty. Like, he wants his friends to be free. He wants to break out of the walls and experience the world. And the problem is that once he breaks out of the walls, he notices that the entire world is a wall for Eldians. Like, everyone hates the Eldians. Everyone despises the Eldians. So the only way to get free is to wage war with everyone else. It's like, okay, you hate us? Fine. Let's have the conflict. Because the conflict wasn't able to be solved by words. Like, there was... It was so far ahead that there was nothing they could do diplomatically in order to win. So this is what the struggle for freedom is all about. It's like, how much are you willing to risk in order to get this freedom? And here you have visions of all his friends, everyone that he is fighting for. He's walking on the walls, meditating about what it means to obtain this freedom, because now he conquered the walls. He is on top of them. The walls aren't what's keeping him chained. What's keeping him chained is the ocean, because past the ocean, it is filled with the enemies of the Eldian people. And the lyric says, like, all I wanted to do was to save your life. I didn't want to bring the knife. In other words, like, he doesn't want to do what he's about to do, but other people are pushing him in this corner. And it's not because of him doing anything. Other people are pushing him in this corner because of the way he was born. And then you have other memories with his brother who's playing ball. And this is actually a really good commentary that I'm going to have once the show is over. You have a little bit of action going on with him fighting with the Armor Titan. And then you have visions of the rumbling, like the devastation that he is able to create. And this actually, hold on, this is not the rumbling. This is the Colossal Titan, which is capable of doing so much damage just by transforming. And here you have the thing with Ymir and the connection that all Eldians have. We got to see it a little bit in the first episode. There's going to be a lot more going into this, and you know, the supernatural element of Attack on Titan. And here you have like all the people terrified and all the people horrified about the rumbling, and some of them are Eldians as well, but they were just caught on the wrong part. So it's the whole collateral damage. And I think like this is where a lot of people can't justify what Eren did in a way. Because in order to gain freedom, he had to, again, destroy 80% of the human population. But it's not just like the people that were against Eldian that got destroyed. I mean, you have a lot of innocent people as well. People that have absolutely nothing to do with politics. People that were infants. In fact, the picture of an infant is prevalent in the manga. You have even people that were friendly to Eren when he was outside into Marley. And all the Eldians that were on the Marley side, I mean, they get trampled as well. So, you know, this is why it's such a gray area. Because, again, like, it depends where you are in the world of Attack on Titan. I mean, if you were outside of the Eldian island, you would probably think that Eren is the biggest monster in the universe. But if you're on the Eldian island itself, well, Eren was a savior. Because without him, what Eren did to everyone else would do to you. So it's such a beautiful manga. It's why it's so complex, and there's shades of gray everywhere. It just shows that hero or monster is just different on which side of the faction you are. And it also shows that history is being written by the winners. It's a great show. I really loved it. And this intro is also quite nice. I love the heavy metal aspect to it, and the lyrics as well. It says that lose it all, right? Like he sacrifices himself in order to achieve this. So if you haven't read the manga, you're definitely going to enjoy this. And I wait until the ending is there so we can talk about it. And in the meantime, I'll see you guys in the comment section. Take care.